All right, welcome to episode number 63, I believe, right? Let's see. Yes, 63 of My FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog which you should go to so you can see all the articles, the complete article in full. And that blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, or you could try myfxbuddies.com, but you have to use HTTPS as in Sam. Also, wherever you are enjoying this content, if you look in the more or description or whatever box, details, information, there should be a link to that to the blog. Okay, then also there's video content on Spotify.com if you're a paid subscriber, I believe. And then the transcript is at rss.com, my FX buddies. And if you're watching on YouTube, well, if you're listening on YouTube, you're not watching the video. It appears to be a video, but you notice the image doesn't change, right? So you can look below the box that appears to be a video, and there's the word more. Click on the word more, and another little box opens, and the link to the blog where the actual video is will be there. And also, I started putting the rss.com link there because some people just can't understand what I'm saying, and I just don't understand for the life of me. So if you want to find the transcript, that is there. RSS. That's in the little box that comes out. Okay, so let's get to it. So this is like a 2.5 day. But I don't want to go more than 30 minutes as usual. So I'm just mostly going to focus on the more interesting articles, I will say. So today is Monday, May 27th, Memorial Day here in America. For those of you who don't know, because apparently there's some people in our Congress that don't even know what this day is for. They made some tweets and then they had to remove them. But this is the day we celebrate, we honor. Matter of fact, I have a little thingy here. A meme, a picture, I don't know what you call these things. We honor our fallen soldiers. Some gave some gave all, right? And I have some in my family who gave all. There we go. Memorial Day, honoring who, oh, I don't like that. Honoring who all served. I don't like the wording there, but I like the flag and I like the candles, even though the candles aren't in the right color order, but whatever. All right. So, getting to the Iraqi news. Okay, so the title article, Central Bank, the issuance of new monetary denominations will not affect the dinar exchange rate. So why did they have to put this article out? Well, we'll get to it. Oh, I put this here twice. I did. Why is this one? Whatever. Who knows why things work out for me like they do. So if you haven't seen the image, here it is. And I'm not sure what this red word may say. Oh, what is it? Sample, specimen, project, not project. I can't think of the word. Anyway, so yesterday, possibly even Friday. Wait, no, Saturday. Matter of fact, I do think it was Saturday. this image started to show on their social media. And I mean, right away, it's suspect. They didn't have the front and the back. They should always have the front and the back. Um, and it's cropped. It looks like it's only part of it, but whatever. Um, so it turned out not to be an actual copy of 100,000 dinar note. And they came out, they had articles all over on the news, everything, because they want people to know this is not a real note. So if you come across it, don't accept it, right? So, and they have a really long reason. It turned out it was an artist rendering, right? And we have some of those floating around. A whole suite. I think that's what they call them, suite. Here in America, you can search artist rendering of USD. And people should know it's not real because it's not on the Treasury, for one thing. And, we had a hard enough time getting people to recognize. Remember when the new 100 notes, the ones, well, we call them new, they're not new now. But when they first came out, you were hearing stories in the news about Walmart workers tearing up the $100 bill because they thought it was fake and not wanting to accept it because they thought it was counterfeit, So imagine if they changed all the notes all at one time, right? With no notice, nothing on the Treasury site. How disastrous that would be, right? So same thing goes for Iraq. Okay. Oh, so remember last post when I was saying I don't know why they don't have the second reason. You probably don't remember because you've been eating barbecue and stuff. But so this article came out. What did it say? It was like the parallel market rate and the official rate will come together, in the coming days, right? And it said that the parallel rate was coming down for two reasons, right? Remember that? Well, lo and behold, like very often happens, I did a second longer one came out. And I did post it here, so if you want to read it, it's here and it's good, so you should read it. Okay? Then another guy, whoever this guy is, it says after the government's pledge, the dollar is heading to decline and the official and parallel are equal. I know it says that, but I also tell you guys what, you cannot just read headlines of Iraqi articles because what the headline gives, what do I say? The body of the article takes away. Not always. Most of the time, though. And I know there's other gurus. Well, I'm not a guru, but the gurus are out there. Oh, it's equal. It's equal. Even Frank's boots on the ground said they're on TV saying it's equal. And I'm going to say, and I know you guys, you don't speak Arabic, you don't have context. The rate is not equal, not yet. They told us in the coming days. How do I know? Because 3 times a day in Iraq, not here in America. Why would they post it in America? I do get my information from Iraqi TV and Iraqi news sites. Okay, so it is not. It closed out today, Monday, 1440 dinars per dollar. The official rate is 13.10. So it went down. And let's see what the week brings, right? Hopefully it'll continue to go down, but we'll see. So I know it's going around that so here, today's Sunday, so this is yesterday, this person, I'm not even going to try to say that name, confirmed that the parallel dollar exchange rate is close to being equal to the official one. See? So you can't just go by a headline. And very often, through the years, it's not a song by Kenny Rogers. Anyway, that has happened. I know Eddie's in Iraq, and I know he watches the news, and then he tells Frank what they're saying on the news. But guess what? There's people here in America every day who watch the news, and then they go and they tell someone, this is what the news said. And it's totally wrong, right? So that we just have to see. And I just hate, I don't like when people get, oh, it's equal now, it's gonna RV. No, not yet. Not yet. Okay? And that's why go to the blog, go read this for yourself. See this link right here? If you click on this link, it's going to bring the Iraqi website up. It's going to be in Arabic, but you can translate it just like I do, and you can read it for yourself, right? And I was going to have, I don't have it ready, but the next time I do a post, I will show you they do a morning rate, they do a midday rate, and they do a closing rate, okay? And they're always different. Well, only by a couple. Like one day they were happy there was only 250 dinar difference between the buy and the sell rate. So it is getting down, and hopefully it will. So this is the exact same article. So on this particular one, you would not need to read the whole article. It's just the financial affairs expert liked this article so much, he confirmed that the parallel dollar exchange rate is close to being equal to the official one. So this one sentence here had them post the whole article again. Okay, look, I wasted too much time on that. Okay, but that's important because things like that and all those channels, because you guys sent me the videos where it's AI, it's not even a real person talking. They jumped on that and they're posting it, and it's not. Okay, this was the article. If you listen to the last blog, and I said there's an article about the UN. It's really good, but I hadn't posted it. But here it is. Why Iraq wants the UN's political mission to wind down. So I posted that here, as I said I would. So if you want to read that, changing Iraq's image. And there's one more headline. I think the next steps. So that, I know it's long, I know, but some people will read it. Okay, here they are talking to the, what is he? Chairman of the Securities Commission. I don't ever say his name because I don't know how to pronounce that name, but he was interviewed and he said, we're making a joint cooperation to list government bonds on the Iraqi stock exchange. So guess what? It's not going to be too long before there will be. The other thing he wanted were those MR, EMAAR bonds, whatever those were, I don't know. But he was like, I want to sell these on the exchange. And sure enough, maybe 2 months later, there they were. So 2 months later, watch, they're going to be selling government bonds on the stock exchange. All right, so here's the longer story. The Iraqi central bank reveals the truth about the Zaha Hadid currency, which isn't really a currency. And then they say here, the central bank confirmed there are no intentions to print a new currency at the present time, and that it will take legal measures against violators and promoters of this counterfeit currency. Okay, now, this isn't the first time this has happened. There's been another time where they put out a $100,000 note, and also just saying, hey, we're going to print we're thinking about $100,000 note. Also remember the 20,000 dinar note. I said dollar, forgive me. 20,000 dinar note. But they haven't done that either, or if they have, it hasn't been circulated. So here's a nice article, Nephew Barzani, the environment is suitable for Qatari investment in Iraq and the region. So this guy right here came from Qatar to visit Nephew Barzani, and they talked about investment. Look at that room. Oh, I love that room. Anyway, here's another article from Mohammed Saleh. Yes. The pattern of public spending will contribute to reducing the 2024 budget deficit. So there they are again, talking about this hypothetical deficit, which is crazy. Even the fact that they put that in the article, right? I don't know. Does hypothetical have a different meaning in Arabic than even though this is English? But so they're just playing with us. They are just playing with us, right? Remember the last podcast? If you didn't watch that, you should go back. I don't know how many minutes in, but there's an article where they say we're not showing you all the numbers twice. At least twice in one article it says that. Yeah, so if you want to read that, you can. There's a whole bunch about the budget, and that's all under one. Do you guys know how to use Control F? You know, if you want to find something quick, you hold down the Control and you hit F, and then a little box pops up. Oh, you can't see. Oh yeah, I think you can. And then you put a word. So I'm going to put budget here, B-U-D-G-E-T. And, oh, well, that's not going to work this time because there's 67 instances of the word budget. But then see how they have these up and down? You could scroll down and find things. But the reason why I was going to do that was I put the word budget because the next 4 articles after that are about the budget. Okay, so there was an explosion, and then some tanks came, and a second explosion went off. And they do that in security tanks came, right? They do that over there. Even to the point where it's in movies. If you haven't watched this movie called The Kingdom, it's about Saudi Arabia and a group of Americans are sent there to investigate this crash, quote unquote crash, but it was really a kablooey. But anyway, so that's how they maximize. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. Anyway, but you can imagine if first kablooey goes off, people go, oh my gosh, I'm going to go help, right? And then more people go, and then the second one goes off, and then, yeah, pretty smart, right? In a maniacal kind of way, but pretty evil too. All right, so, and that's not the only kablooies that are happening. So here is an interesting article. I'm not sure why they're putting this out now. A deep disagreement between Maliki and Sudani comes to the surface, and it's like an interview of Maliki, and this is the picture that I'm trying to get there. So here's Sudani, and here's Maliki, and look how they have them looking at each other, glaring at each other. So you know that's posed, but it doesn't. I don't know. You guys know I'm not the best with technology. So anyway, if you want to read that, I know there's some people who like to read all things Maliki. But it says, but you voted on the tripartite budget, and now you disagree with Sudani. So they're not just little fluff questions. But talk about evil. Anyway, Oh, I put that article here twice. Jeez, I do that. I don't know why I do that. Okay, see, here's the word budget. So we're not going to read about that because look, it's already 20 minutes in. But I know some people like to read about the budget, so I put those there. And then here's a plan. The government advisor reveals a plan to reduce said deficit. What did he call it? Hypothetical. A hypothetical deficit. All right. This is interesting. We are not Kashmars. I have no idea what that is. Parliamentary Finance reveals a surprise about the 2024 budget and reveals what is hidden. And if you want to read that, you can. What is hidden is liquidity, a lack of liquidity. But we know what will solve that. Okay, let's see. I think this is great. This is very encouraging. Raffidan Bank announces the implementation of the comprehensive banking system in Anbar and Mosul University branches. So the system is now in 27 branches of this one bank. So they're moving right along. And look at this. Iraq is close to opening the first factory to produce naval and military boats. So I have that there if you want to read that. This is good news in my opinion. Kurdistan Finance deposits more than 85 billion dinars into the federal government's account. And it makes no sense. You're going to give them money. Okay, so the Kurds have to give Baghdad money every month, but then Baghdad distributes money to them every month. So you see how crazy that is? But hey, that's how that works. But they were resistant. They were not doing that. And now they're doing it. So that tells me they are getting along. They are getting in line. You know, there must have been some kind of agreement. They're sending over the information. The Minister of Finance, she didn't want to send money for salaries without verifying the payroll list that, you know, because they had 5 people, only one of them were real, right? But there were 5 people with the same name, all getting money. So she really narrowed that down. And so they're doing that, which tells me they are getting with the program, for lack of a better way to talk about that. Okay, so oh, here's a report. There's a better title for this. Here, the International Monetary Fund praises the Iraqi government's monetary policy measures. So this came out today. Actually, it came out yesterday, but it's dated today. Okay. Let me go back over. So maybe I'll put that in post-production. But at first I thought it was the same IMF report. Remember that report was like 68 pages? And I was like, I am not reading that. So this is their response. And this is a lot less. It's only, matter of fact, here. Oh, it won't. But if you click here, well, if you say you have to go to the blog and you click here where it says here, it's, I think, a 5-page report, but it's in Arabic first and then English second. So if you want to read that, and I know some of you are going to want to read that, it's already in English. Yeah, and isn't that interesting that they would put that in Arabic and English? Okay, so this could be a problem with 3 kablooey devices targeting KFC. KFC is pretty big over there, apparently. Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? They have hit vandalized because I don't want to say the real word of what they've done, so I'm going to go with vandalized 3 different restaurants. But it may stop actually because they did arrest, see down here, So it's been happening since Friday, but they're targeting American restaurants because of, and look at the name of this street. It's Pizza Land, right? Pizza Land Street in Baghdad. That's the name of the street, and one of the restaurants was on that street. But that's what they are. And how nice are they? They do it at night when it's closed. They don't go during the day when the people are there. They go at night when everything's closed and there's not that many people around. So yeah, so here it's part of the boycott. See, McDonald's has been hurt by this boycott. Starbucks has been hurt by, you know. So yeah, so they're targeting American-owned restaurants. So, but maybe it won't get any bigger because they arrested some of them. But here, Iraq is a staunch supporter of the Pizza Land cause. So I think that might be why. Anyway, I've discussed that before. I don't want to talk about it here. And we only have 4 minutes. Government advisor. Iraq is about to use robots in agriculture and computer manufacturing. We'll see how that goes. Here, oil prices are still higher than their budget estimates, and we're trying to keep spending to a minimum. So here's another article about the budget and the deficit, but specifically, he talks about as long as oil's over $70, which it is, we're good. And this time it's broken out with some reasons, 4 reasons. Okay, I think we're going to close out with this. Oh yeah, this is a good how to market investment opportunities. So this is that guy, I can't think of his name, but he's saying, we got to start marketing. People aren't just going to come, but they are. But he's like, they're just waiting for something. I wonder what they're waiting for. But he's like, we have to figure out how to market and make our country attractive. And also we want mutual benefits and something else. But yeah, so that's interesting if you want to read that. And then planning and the World Bank discuss supporting the development path. So that tells me they're going full throttle on this. They're meeting. Now the World Bank is meeting, talking about that. So that's good. The framework had a meeting at Abadi's house. Yeah, Abadi's house. Sudani was there to discuss the budget. And they don't need, it's better to get their cooperation, because if they just go ahead and do things without their cooperation, they'll hold it up, right? So that's why they do that, in my opinion. And then Parliament hosts the Ministers of Finance and Planning. So it looks like Monday, which was today, but this is already written on Tuesday. It looks like the Parliamentary Finance Committee did meet with them, because here she is. That's right here is the Minister of Finance. I'm guessing this is the planning guy. I don't know. I don't know what they look. And look at this young lady. She's on her cell phone. Anyway, I think that's funny. All right. She's probably like, dude, I'm in a meeting. Call me back. Right? All right. So yeah, so if you want to read that, that's the last article. Okay. So we're going to go a little bit over. I apologize. But this is a really great article. You should go read it. So, when will Iraq resort to offering the $100,000 dinar currency? They're not. But, oh wait. So here's the title article, right? The title of the blog article, Central Bank, the issuance of new monetary denominations will not affect the dinar exchange rate. So, did they really have to explain that to the people? Issuing rumors on social media sites about the issuance of new monetary denomination aims to create a state of confusion in the Iraqi market. And yeah, there's people that do that. But listen to this. The issuance of new cash denominations, large or small, will not affect the dinar exchange rate. So, why'd they throw in or small? So, I just thought that was interesting. I mean, they did have to respond, right, to the note being out there. The Central Bank of Iraq is working according to well-studied plans, and there is no intention to issue new currencies in large or small denominations. Yeah, right. We know better than that. If we assume that the central bank issues a new currency, we're not going to do it. But if we assume that the central bank issues a new currency, this will not affect the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. All right. So this one below that, this also talks about with the spread of pictures on social networking sites of a new currency of 100,000 dinars, the central bank hastes to deny the matter. So what this explains is people are going to freak out because they're going to say, oh, they're going to print this 100,000 note because inflation is rising and we're going to need this 100,000 note. But they even say in here, if that were the case, we would just print more 50,000 dinar notes, right? They already have the template for that. They already print them. So we would just print double of those because, they don't have change and everything, right? So then, I don't even know about that name right there, but it says the pictures that spread did not receive a categorical official rejection, although the central bank denied that it had introduced this currency. The conversations revolved around the negatives and positives of this step, noting that the idea is not new, and it was in the form of deleting 3 zeros and introducing a new currency to push individuals to keep the dinar, not the dollar, for issues related to ease of storage, because the idea was in 2012 for security issues. So they've been working on deleting the 3 zeros since 2012, but we know it's been even before that. But there it is. They've been working on it since 2012, but at the present time, the economic expert states there is no justification until this moment for offering a new currency. Now, they use that phrase. It can be interpreted where they're saying there's no justification until now, right? To offer a new currency, meaning, okay, now there is. But I think they're just saying as of this point right now, as of where we are now. That's what I think it means. And I've read a lot of Iraqi articles, but I could be wrong, right? And it says instead of offering the 100,000 note, the printing of the 50,000 note could be increased, right? So this is good. Oh, and then also here, the 50,000, many citizens try to get rid of because they are heavy and similar in shape to a 1,000 dinar coin. Now, even though it says coin right there, they mean a paper note. I don't know if any of you have 50,000 dinar notes. They are thicker. So, and if you've, that's why I like to look at the articles. You've seen they get stacks of dinars. I mean, like 4-inch, 6-inch thick stacks of dinars. So yeah, you want to kind of get the lightest one, I guess, right? So yeah. So again, I recommend, this is one of those blogs I recommend you go to and actually read these articles, especially this one. It gives a good history. Okay, 35. So I'm just going to read this last sentence. He continues. Now this is this is Hantouche. He's a different, here's a researcher, economic researcher specializing in financial and banking affairs, Mustafa Hantouche. Many governments justify the introduction of a large currency by addressing the accounting situation due to the presence of large numbers such as trillions. Right? But this must be in a state of monetary stability and for the people to understand that the currency needs to delete zeros for accounting purposes. So again, they're talking about deleting the zeros. Like to hear that. All right, I'm not going to belabor this because we're at 36. All right, so thank you. I hope this was helpful. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Pay all your bills, don't miss any meals. Thank you. What else? If there's a follow, join, subscribe, whatever button where you're enjoying this content, please click, tap, swipe, whatever that. Because I don't record regularly. And yeah, so let's see what this week brings. Let's see if the rate is gonna go down. And enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.